my name is Colin Castle, and the group our team partnered with was the Franklin County Local Outreach to Suicide Survivors, or LOSS. LOSS exists to be an installation of hope by providing community resources the newly bereaved are likely unaware of, understanding, and support, and is made up of trained volunteers, many of whom are survivors of suicide themselves. Early in our journey, we met with the director to better understand the organization's current state and future aspirations. And it is from this kickoff meeting that our team determined we could provide the most benefit by focusing on the life cycle of a volunteer.
Early in the process, we were able to identify that one risk to the organization was scalability. Because of this, our goals and recommendations were centered around task delegation and shared responsibility among other stakeholders within the organization.
During the project, we really focused on creating frameworks that could be implemented ongoing when we were not part of the project anymore. To do this, we really focused on identifying scalable and manageable programs that LOSS volunteers can manage and that wouldn't require an addition of new full-time staff. With these calendars and the new training programs, we clearly outlined new volunteers and how they will be able to manage these programs.
The challenges we identified at the start of our project centered around volunteer training, recruitment, engagement, management, and retention. Upon our first meeting with Denise in July and several interviews with volunteers and a board member, we found that everyone was eager to be more connected, both socially and through the process. Our group presented our initial recommendations to Denise later, and that was to change the format of the monthly meetings to allow volunteers to become more engaged through the training process and through their monthly meetings. Since then, Franklin County LOSS has implemented these changes and has found that each volunteer has gone through the training program to be more engaged, and the monthly meetings with each volunteers have been more beneficial because everyone is more socially involved.
As our team was working on the service project for Franklin County LOSS, we were looking for a way to structure our change management ideas for both volunteer retention and volunteer education process. Thankfully, thanks to an aha moment that Perry put on us for the Thriving in a Complex World part of our training, he introduced the concept of the 4 Ps. The 4 Ps are purpose, picture, plan, and part. That really gave us the framework to put together the presentation that educates the organization on all the changes that we were recommending.
What our biggest challenge was with this project, and ultimately it's very difficult when you've got 8 professionals working with different companies and different schedules and different demands to try and bring everyone together to work collectively at one time on this. So to get around that, we explored other opportunities for communication. So we utilized email, Dropbox, conference calls, video conference calls. So I think each of us took from that sometimes we have to think outside the box to be able to come together to get something done, and ultimately realize that we have to prioritize and put things in perspective of, timelines. What's important to get done now might not be important to somebody else, but ultimately we knew that we had to pull this all together for the sake of the project to ensure that we met the appropriate deadlines, and I think we were successful in doing that.
Out of all the positive impacts that this service project and the NxGen program has created, the most powerful impact has been the word connection. Connecting compassionate servant leaders with communities of people who are in need of healing, who are in need of hope, and just the need to be loved for who they are and for where they are. And NxGen has made this opportunity possible.
Our team was best to implement servant leadership by constant communication. We may not have been able to meet together face-to-face every day, but we communicated on a weekly basis and were able to complete our projects in a quick and timely fashion.
Something this project has taught me is the true value of connection and empathy. These are things that show up in my life everywhere, and I'm grateful for the opportunity to have put them into practice with this group.
What I've learned best with my staff is just actually sitting down for the time that I'm with them, closing my computer, and completely listening to them.
For me, the most life-altering part of the NxGen program is really taking to heart the concept of, am I leaving people better or worse for interacting with me? It makes such a difference in all my interactions at home and at work.